All right, cheers.
What was it?
I probably spent on her probably about like 80,000. And the last chick that I was officially dating, we almost got a dog after like 2 days of knowing each other.
Somebody that's asking you to define something immediately has ulterior motives.
You are now listening to the Men Don't Know podcast.
Welcome to the Men Don't Know podcast. I'm the man of many friends, your host and creator, Chris Boone. And here on the podcast, we talk to a bunch of women over wine and cocktails, and we get a bunch of answers for men that want to know what women are thinking. Coy, my guy, how we living? What's up? Man, it's fucking chilling. You know what it is. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for listening, everybody for championing this podcast on. Merch is still headed out. Merch is all the way, always going out. I can't thank y'all enough for championing this podcast on. Whether you're listening on Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or you download the Men Don't Know podcast app, I cannot thank you guys enough. It truly means a lot to me. Coy,
what do you got?
This is my thing, and this is my thing. Men not knowing their value in a relationship. Now, I'm not saying men need to wear the pants in the relationship, but
what do you mean by value?
I mean, okay, you ever look in a relationship and you don't know who's running things. Like, I mean, like, it's like, man, it's like squirrels at a rave. Nobody got their ducks in a row.
Damn.
Okay, like, it's like, damn, like
out
these two people, yeah, it's just out of control.
There's no control.
Yeah, exactly. And not even that. It's just like value and worth. Like, this guy is doing X, Y, and Z, and this girl's just running all over him. Like, he does not know his value. Yeah. I don't want to say he's being controlled by the pussy, but I'm just saying, I mean,
you said it.
I'm just saying, it just doesn't. I just feel like we all have that friend,
But do you think it's established from the get-go, and that's just the way it's going to be from that point? Like, a guy can't just all of a sudden learn.
No, I think we all evolve and grow in relationships.
So
well, you should. There's time. Hey,
fix things.
Hey, fix things. Double back. I mean, drive around the block. Like, at some point, I mean, I'm pretty sure I know of a guy that, I do know a guy that he just, like, buddy, like, you are
what. Yeah, but
he's a champion, but he's acting like novice.
What do you do in that situation? Slap him around a few times, tell him, or he's a man, he'll learn on his own.
I mean, hopefully, sometimes you gotta, gotta lead him to water.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
You can do, huh?
And you try to do these things, but I just look sometimes, and I always like, I'm like, damn, like, my guy, like,
But doesn't that go back to a show that we did before where you don't want to meddle in another man's or woman's relationship because then, you could say your opinion and then he talks it over with her. They're fine. And then now you guys are in bad terms.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, I feel like I look and I just see some, sometimes you see your boys and you're just like, buddy, like, nah, like,
you gotta get out of there.
I don't want to even say you got to get out of there. You got to change the you got to change the mentality. You got to change, you got to change the energy in that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, bro, like, sometimes I'll just be like, hey, like, I get in a relationship when you have to check and see if you have anything going on that week with the lady, or, you gotta see, hey, since we're not doing anything, I'm going to do, X, Y, and Z. But I don't feel, well, once again, this is probably why I'm not in a relationship, that
if you quote unquote meddle, a lot of times it can go bad, but sometimes the friend might need a kick in the butt. Yeah. They say, hey, thank you so much for opening my eyes to that. And then it might even improve your
relationship.
Their relationship.
Hell yeah, because she's probably wanted him to take charge all along.
Yeah.
All right.
But if it backfires, we're like, it doesn't bother me anything.
Yeah. Hit him with the Larry David. Oh man. All right. Okay, let's hit my sister up first. And she was on the last podcast, and I feel like I should still call her because she's very valid. This. Get comfortable. Put that there. Make some room.
Hey.
What's up? I'm here with Koi. What you up to?
Hey.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to eat.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good question. Anyways, you're on the podcast. Me and Koi are sitting back and we're trying to figure out, and I feel like a man should know his value in the relationship and know the value he's bringing, or else, in some case or another, they're going to get stepped on, walked on, and, get treated like, the third child or her child,
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, to a certain extent, because I truly believe that if a man is being treated like a third, fourth, or fifth child by his significant other, then maybe that's how he wants to be treated.
I don't think any man will do. Koi, bail me out here. I don't think any man wants to be treated like a child, though, Nina. Like, I mean, well, I would hope not.
Act like a child.
Oh, yeah, fuck. Okay. All right. Touche.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me ask you this then. Have you ever seen one of your guy friends where you're like, hey, look, check this out. You need to man the fuck up in your relationship because you are not valuing yourself as high as you should be?
Oh, of course. Of course I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time, but I think what happens is that people get comfortable and sometimes they are scared as well to get out of a relationship because it's all they know. They would rather deal with what they know than versus what they don't know.
Man, I get, you know what? And probably the reason why I'm still familiar with being single because of the fact that, it's just not, it's a no-go. It's a no-go. Like, let me ask you this. What as us guys, what can we tell our guy friends? Like in that situation where we see him not being, I guess you could say, he's not getting the value. He's not being
valued.
Yeah, he's not being valued. He's a Maserati, but he's getting treated like a Pinto.
Oh my! Well, I mean, you can tell your friends all that you want, but they have to be willing to listen and to put action into place. I mean, if they're happy with where they're at, no matter what you say, they're not going to leave.
That's true.
I don't even need him to leave. I just need him. Hey, check this out. I know. Last year things was running like this. I'm on a new leaf. This is, we're not going to be doing all of this anymore.
Do you think, Nina, that it's worth it for you to quote unquote meddle in your guy friend's relationship and say, hey, I think you could do better, or you need to be treated better, or knowing that it could kind of, make your friendship rocky?
You know what? I've done it, not necessarily with I have done it with a guy friend. I have with a guy friend and one of my really good friends. And it just comes from, it's all about the presentation, right? If you're like, I know right now you may seem happy, but I just have to tell you how I feel. And whether, they appreciate it, great. Whether, they continue in the relationship, then they do. But as long as, for me, it's like, okay, well, I will be there when shit hits the fan, because shit did hit the fan for the both of them. And there was no need to say I told you so, because they're already going to look at you and appreciate, you for being you and say, I know, you told me so. But, it's learning. But yeah, of course you should tell them.
So it's about how you approach it. You can't just hit it.
Yeah.
You just can't be like,
hey, check this out.
FTV, fuck that bitch.
Hey, check this out.
How you present it matters.
Yes.
Okay.
All about the presentation, how you present it. Yes.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could present a Corolla as a Lamborghini the way you talk about it, and then when you get outside, I was like, wait a minute, I thought you were talking about a Lambo. How are we getting into this?
I said it was a good car.
Yeah, fastest car I've ever owned. No, I'm playing. Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I think that's about pretty much it. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you.
All right, same here. Have fun, guys.
All right,
thank
you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bruh, okay. It's how you present, how you go up to your boy.
That matters. Definitely matters. You can't just... Like, I always think I'm pretty good at talking with people, you know, like good conversation, good communication.
Yeah.
It definitely does matter how you bring something up to somebody versus, like, getting straight to the point, you know? You kind of have to ease into things at some points.
Well, I mean, but I think it. But let me tell you this: it's so hard to ease into things when you yourself are fed up at seeing your man's getting. You know what I'm saying? You like,
yeah, but just because you're seeing it all the time doesn't mean. Let's say, for example, you were telling me, it doesn't mean I'm seeing it. You know, and then when you bring it up all of a sudden, I'd be like, whoa, where did that come from? You know, like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you gotta assume that you gotta bring the conversation, ease it in like that. Because they might be blind to the situation, you know.
Like, so what are you talking about? Oh my God.
You're kind of, how dare you? You know, but it's
you're
like,
buddy,
I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Buddy, check this out, my guy. You know what they're valuing you at. You know, they're saying you're like $3 a share when I see you at 25, my guy. Like, you know, we need to figure out how we can 8x your situation. I really think, honestly, too, do you think it's easier for a woman to show a man his value even though he's in a relationship? So a new woman coming around and like, so let me give you an example. Said guy is in a relationship. He goes to work. Said colleague at work is a woman, realizing his true value and tells him that. Is he more likely to believe her than one of his boys saying, "Hey, bro, you know, you up here, bro. I don't know what you're doing. Like, she treating you like this, like yada yada."
Should be the friend, because the coworker, you don't know if there's other intentions. She might be like, "Hey,
pretty.
I'd be pretty good. I'd be with you better." You know? You don't know. But if it's a very trustworthy female friend, then I don't see why you wouldn't hold it with as much merit as you would your boys, right?
True.
It's good to see another point of view if your boys are saying it and a random friend that's not part of the group, no agenda, is saying it, then it's probably true. You know, at least take a look at it.
Thank you. At least
entertain it.
Do not slide it to the side. Do not go back home and thinking
just
everything's
because you
great.
like her.
Yeah.
Just because the pussy is good. Just because she gives a good blowjob. Come on.
Bro, all this is fire. I'm like, bro. Yeah. It's gonna dry up real quick, bro. You seen the Sahara, right? Yeah. That place was once full of water.
Oasis.
Yeah, it was once full of water, and now look at you. You know, but you know, let's see. Let's see if we can get one more. Let's see if we can get my. Let's see if we can call a guy this time. Mm-hmm. Switch it up. Let's see if he picks up. There we go. Bring that up. See what we got.
Hello?
My guy, are you working out right now?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, bro, health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
Oh, man, what? I say that all the time. Bro. I promise you that.
Bro, health is wealth. You know what I'm saying? Dope don't sell itself, okay? Dope sells itself, okay?
Preach. Yes, sir.
Man, I know you in it right now, but you got a minute for a question? You got to cool it down a second?
Of course, man. Of course.
All right, so I'm here with Coy, and we are talking about men knowing their value in a relationship, because sometimes I see some of my friends, and when I'm out, I see a lot of guys that don't know their true value in the relationship that they are in, and it drives me fucking insane. So let me ask you this. As a man, how important is it for you to know the value in it when you're in a relationship, or if you are in said relationship?
How important? I think it's 100% important that both you and your significant other are on the same page. I think a lot of the time as men, it's in our nature to be able to be providers for our significant other, right?
Yeah.
And with that being said, I think a lot of the times, and I've been there before, where you're spending this, spending that, and you are being the sole provider, but you don't feel it's being reciprocated.
You don't feel the value. You don't feel valued.
You feel used. Yes. And I've been there before, where you don't feel the value, you feel used, and then you can start pushing away that other person.
Oh.
And that's just from personal experience. And then when you push somebody away, you're like, damn, why isn't she paying me any attention? And then you start chasing, and it's like you're running on a treadmill. It's not going anywhere.
The hamster wheel, you mean?
Yes. There you go, the hamster wheel. There you go.
Say you running on a treadmill. You're not going anywhere. Oh my god. Okay. So then brings me to my next question. You see your boy being devalued in a relationship. How do you bring it up to him?
Do you
even bring it up?
Knowing the risk that it could cost you a friendship.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, because it's happened before, and you see what's going on, and you say something, but yet it's falling on deaf ears.
Yeah.
So you don't want to lose that friendship, but you still kind of want to be there for him. So it's kind of it's a catch-22. Damned if you don't, damned if you do.
Damn.
So me personally, I would say something, just because I don't want my boys to be honest with me than to see me going on a sinking ship.
Oh, this guy is killing it right now. A sinking ship.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm 35. I've been there, done that. I'm sure it's happened to any person you talk to. It's happened to.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: do you feel like men would take more advice from a woman than their friend or best friend? Like, would they take more advice from a woman they barely even know, like a colleague, or would they take advice from a friend, like one of their boys? Because for me, I feel like my reasons are valid, but he may feel like they are one-sided versus, a colleague that is a female telling him, like, oh man, like you are like here, and here, and you are this, and this, versus, I just said that, and he's not even, looking at me because he feels like my interpretation of their relationship is one-sided.
Can I answer?
Yeah. Please.
Okay. With me, I would get both sides of the spectrum, so you're not biased on one side. So I would listen to my buddy. I've done it before, where you grab a drink and just heard his side, and then with a fellow colleague, a female, or I just hear her side just to see, and then I make my decision based on that. Like, okay, I get her perspective, but I also get this perspective as well. Let me communicate this to my significant other in order to know that we're on the same page, because communication is huge in a relationship. So I like to make my decision based on that. So I'm not just leaning towards my boy and then going in there all puffed up. So I want to see the woman's side.
Absolutely. Now I hear that, my guy. I am going to let you get back to your workout. I can't thank you enough for that quick insight and pop in. I know you're doing your thing, my guy. In a couple weeks, I am going to do a round table with men and women. In a couple weeks. I definitely want to get you in on it, my guy. I definitely want to bring you down. I will hit you with details next week, so that way we can kind of figure everything out. But it will be down probably by the beach, so that way we can chill. And after that, we can go out and grab some cocktails. Hopefully, everything's still open and stuff like that.
Let me know. Let me know.
All right, my guy. I appreciate you.
All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, you have a good one.
Later.
You too. Bye.
Damn, he sounded like he was in that quarantine workout. Like he was
in the zone.
Yeah, he was in the zone. I can't even. I appreciate that. Okay, let me ask you this real quick, Coy. What do you feel like what he said was true? Because I feel like he was basing it all on personal experience.
As far as what? What example? What did he say?
About taking both sides and then coming to a conclusion. One of his boys and then one of his colleagues that's a female, and then coming to a conclusion.
Well, on the female part,
yeah.
Was her worth devalued, or it was
no? So it was one of his colleagues that was a woman,
yeah,
and she was letting him know that he was being devalued.
And
she has no skin in the game to
I got you. Yeah. Like I said, what's her value? Is she a good friend? Do you count her as somebody who's intelligent, who's somebody's opinion that matters to you? Or is it somebody who's just like, don't talk to me. I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah.
Like, if you're getting an opinion from somebody, you have to determine and calculate if that person's opinion is valid and matters or not, or they're just an idiot. And like, come on, we all know. We all know.
There's some people out there.
Some people are just like, okay, you just nod your head and be like, okay, keep it pushing. I'm not trying to listen.
Hit them with the yada yada yada.
Other people that talk to you and you're like, okay, I should at least take a listen, to at least take a consideration, because this person is obviously somebody who cares about me and I care about that person.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like it's what your value is in that person.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't talk to me if you're an idiot. I don't want to hear you.
I mean, yeah, and also, he was saying, and it was funny because he was bringing in personal experience in person,
And no agenda has something to do with it too. If somebody has an agenda or is subjective in the matter, then you have to be like, okay,
I'm trying to get your girl.
They're trying to weigh something out. But I only listen to opinions of people that can view things objectively.
Okay.
They can step outside the box and
they
can give me a real assessment of something. No skin in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Man, all right, let's see if Alana's home. Let's call my home girl. Okay, here she is. Let's see. All right.
Hello.
How are we doing, beautiful?
Better now that you called.
Why are you always trying to catch her? You know she's going to say that.
I know.
How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Glad to hear your voice.
Glad to hear yours. Haven't heard in a while.
All right, well, I'm here with Coy. Enough of the shenanigans.
Hi.
What's going on?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy that the outdoors is finally open so I could actually go and be a human being.
All
yeah,
right.
she's on the East Coast. Okay, so now that I got you here, and I appreciate you picking up, we are talking about how important is it for a man to know his value in a relationship?
Meaning,
like what he brings to the table, like not taking advantage of. Like, I just feel like, now, in this day and age, I know a couple guys that don't know their true, they are being devalued by the women they are with because of how they're being treated.
I mean, a guy should know what he brings to the table as soon as he's talking to a girl. I mean, no girl wants a pushover.
As much as like I'm speaking for me, but I know that I'm a lot to handle. Like I'm a handful, so I can't deal with the pushover. So the guy needs to know that how to handle me too. But the guy also needs to have self-respect for himself and not just be a yes man all the time too, because then he's definitely going to get taken advantage of.
You should know that.
Self-respect.
Right. Yeah. It's all about self-respect too. Like if you don't agree with something, just because you like the girl, don't say yes, 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 because that gets old too. And the same goes for vice versa. The same goes for girls too. Because I'm sure you don't want a yes girl either.
Hell no. I like, I like a girl. I don't want to say combative because I feel like that's the wrong word to use.
Girl that'll stand up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously not combative or anything, but have their own opinion.
Right.
Of course. Yeah. Should be.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And not get taken advantage of in the way of like just allowing themselves to be walked all over.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I just feel like, and then, okay, let me ask you this, and let's get into this. How am I supposed to bring it up to my friend? Because I feel like he will feel like me as a friend is being one-sided and saying like, hey, man, I feel like she is not valuing what you bring to the table.
Well, you can't say anything to the friend. Because if he really likes the girl, then he won't listen to you.
Damn.
But what if he just needs that eye opener, that push?
He has to have his eyes open himself. I mean,
so he should
because if you say something, and no matter what happens, you're in the wrong.
Yep.
You could state your opinion until your face turns blue, but it doesn't mean that he'll listen. Because if he's really into a girl, and from the outside looking in, you may see it better than he does.
Yeah.
But he has blinders on, so he won't see anything.
And do you think the relationship between you and your boy are going to be scarred after that because it looks like you were trying to break them up?
No, yeah.
It can be until they are actually broken up. And who knows that it's like...
And who knows when that's going to happen.
I told you so.
Well, also, who knows if they're not going to get back together.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you're still in the wrong.
So you're saying there should be no time when you bring it up to your boy, even if your presentation is good.
Obviously, your intentions are good, and you're always looking out for your boy and everything, and but you could state your opinion, but they're just going to be looking at it as you don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
It's
not worth
you don't know the relationship, and it might put a dent in your friendship.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: would he more often take advice from a colleague that's a female than take advice from a man? Than one of his boys? I don't want to say man. One of his boys.
A girl that has no ulterior motive, just
motive,
a true friend that's female versus a true guy friend.
Or maybe he just won't take anyone's advice and do whatever he wants to do.
Those blinders are strong.
Right.
And the pussy's good.
Right, because when you're really into somebody, you're into somebody, and no matter what people tell you, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
You're just going to listen to whatever you feel. And honestly, sometimes the heart is stupid. But
damn. Are you
you don't listen to your brain, you listen to your heart.
Are you talking from personal experience? Sorry for.
I am.
Oh.
Have you ever had a female friend tell you that you should know your worth
I've
and leave
had
a guy?
plenty of friends.
And then
that told me that. And at the end of the day,
you're not trying to listen.
I wasn't listening because you know what? The heart wants what it wants, and I'm very hard-headed. And
at least she's honest.
And I don't listen to anybody, honestly. And that's why I said I'm a handful. But And then I just was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I lost so many friends along the way because of that dumbass relationship.
Damn.
And then only after, and it took years for me, that I was just like, maybe from the outside looking in, they actually knew what they were talking about. But I'm too hard-headed and stubborn to actually admit that I'm ever wrong. So
even after, still no admission.
Even after.
Hey,
so I mean, it's hard for me to apologize to people. So when I do, it's genuine. But
okay.
But yeah, like that's why I'm saying when I was in the relationship, I didn't listen to anybody. I did whatever I did, and like, was it stupid of me? 1,000%. But at the moment, you don't see it that way.
Mm-hmm. Deny.
Yeah. Hey, deny is like
deny till I die.
Yeah. I think everybody likes deny. Deny is everybody's friends.
I mean, and nobody honestly wants to hear negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Especially when it has to do with their relationship. I don't know how new your friend's relationship is or how old it is or anything, but if it's new and in the honeymoon stage, you can't say shit.
Can't say nothing. See, according to her, you just got to let them figure it out themselves because it's not worth it for you to try to meddle in.
I mean, if you want to lose a friendship, then by all means go ahead.
Damn.
But I already lost a friendship.
Yeah. He's gone for me now. Like I barely see him.
But, if you believe in the things that work themselves out.
At the end of the day, you could always have that phone call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. All right, well, I'm going to let you go. Any new announcements on your end?
Yes. Chapter 2 of Confessions of a Star is out now on Apple and Spotify, featuring me and the lovely, amazing Chris Boone, which is the host of Men Don't Know. And I'm still waiting on merch, but that's okay.
I'll send you a bag this week.
Not have merch?
I feel like I've sent her. You know what? I didn't know.
You know what? There's no chapter 3 until the merch comes. Chapter 3 will not be.
No, he has got chapter 3, so I have lost that.
No, you know what? I'll send it this week. I promise you, I'll send it this week.
I'm waiting by the post office.
Oh, let's go. Oh my gosh! I feel like I sent you a bag of everything I had. Did you get the shorts?
There's more that you didn't send. No, I did not.
Okay.
I think her blinders were on. She didn't get them.
Okay.
Nope. I'm so infatuated with Chris that no.
This girl's solid. Okay, I gotta let you go before you give me a call. All right, I appreciate you though. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
So we got a definite no as an answer.
Damn, bruh. Like what? She said, especially in the honeymoon stage.
Oh, on the
don't
honeymoon
say shit.
stage, don't say nothing. It's gonna look like you're a hater.
But bruh, like
things will figure themselves out the way they're supposed to.
I see the fire, and you're walking into the building.
Sorry, you see the fire. They don't. They're walking in like backdraft.
They walking in. Oh no! Somebody's got a.
Walking in like you go, we go.
Somebody smoking some meat in the back or something. But oh man, I mean, okay. So I take it you do agree with a lot of the things she said. Definitely in the honeymoon
because
stage.
I'm not I don't like to be a meddler. Things will work themselves out the way they're supposed to work themselves out.
Right.
It's just the way it is, And as I gotten older, I kind of figured that out. You don't try to control things or try to make things happen. Things will happen the way they're supposed to happen. And if it happens, if you think it's supposed to happen a certain way, for the good, then it will. Yeah. That's kind of what I learned over the years. You're not changing anything.
Facts.
And if you change something, you kind of go through in your mind, like, was I manipulative? Like, did I make that happen for my own well-being? But nah.
I'm not. Nobody's over here trying to play devil's advocate. All right, let's say one more. Let's say one more and then get the hell up out of here. Who we call? Let's call Jessica. We haven't talked to Jessica in a minute here. Where is she at? Okay, here she is. Let's see where she's up to. Let's see if she picks up.
Thank you for calling. What can I do for you?
Oh, that was a little change up.
Hey, let me explain something to you first of all. You know, the last caller said, you know, she was glad to hear from me, that, you know, she appreciated me, that, you know,
oh my God.
She couldn't wait to hear my voice. And then, you know, I'm on the phone with you and I get the what do you want? I think...
was she senile or anything like that?
Wow. All right, Jessica. All right, enough is enough with you. How we living? What are you up to?
Good. I'm sitting in my jacuzzi right now.
Oh shit, living the dream. All right, so check it out. Me and Corey here. Me and Corey are talking, and we are wondering if we should tell our fellow guy friends when they're being devalued in a relationship, meaning their significant other is not knowing their true value.
Okay, you're wondering as like a friend if you should tell your
I need to know if I should tell my boy, hey, check this out. She is not treating you. Yeah, you better today. She not treating you like the man you are.
I think it depends on the friendship.
Damn. Jesus,
okay. Got a good friendship. Homie.
I'm just saying, like, if you're a good enough friend, like maybe your neighbor. I know.
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking about your neighbor.
Yeah.
You guys have known each other forever. You guys are good enough, close enough friends to where I feel like you could tell him something and he would take it into consideration, keep it to himself, and decide what he wants to do with information. But some people, it's like the same thing as when they're fighting or when someone cheats. Like, you don't want to get involved. You don't want to say something because it can always come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
So it depends on the person and the friendship.
I'm tired of seeing him walking into burning buildings. Okay.
Oh wow.
And the fact that he's in the honeymoon stage, I feel like I should say something, but I can't.
Well, there's also diplomatic ways of saying things. What exactly? Give me an example of what she's done that made you just like, whoo, good thing it's you and not me.
I thought I told you. Those words right there is just like, wait, what? Hold up.
Like you're a child?
Yeah, treating you like a child, yes. Treating you like the third or fourth child in the family, and not treating you like as a partner, a husband, you know. Like
I said, there is different ways to have those type of conversations. Where if it's somebody you're close to, for instance, you bring it up subtly. You guys are talking about relationships, whatever.
Yeah.
You might say something like, "Hey, you know, I noticed you guys were arguing, or what happened with that argument you guys had the other day that you were telling me about," however it might have happened, and let them tell you and be like, "Okay, you know, yeah, you said she said this, or I heard her say that. Is that normal, or does she just get like that when she gets really heated?" Now, if they tell you, she just gets like that when she's mad, normally she doesn't talk like that. You're like, oh, okay, you know, eventually it's probably going to bother you, you know, type of thing. Oh, okay, they can take that how they want, but I mean, it's all about planting the seed and how you come at somebody. Someone just comes at you and they're like, "Yo, your girlfriend's fucking crazy."
So presentation.
Kind of a bitch. You should probably not be with her.
Yeah, look, check this out.
That's what Nina said earlier. Yeah. She said presentation matters, like how you bring it up to somebody.
It does. Yeah. It does. People don't like feeling like they're attacked. If you're talking to somebody in a manner that seems very patient and like, you know, I'm your friend, I just noticed this, I just want to let you know.
Truly concerned.
Right. It's just a different approach, and it doesn't hit as hard because that's pretty much everybody. Everybody can take criticism to a certain level, but it depends on how you give that criticism.
Huh. Got to ease into it.
You don't want to sound like a hater, a single hater.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Or a guy with ulterior motives.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing, you know, with girls. I have a couple girlfriends where I know my audience. Some of them I can come across like really momish, and they're just like, "You're right, I know," and I know they're not going to take offense to it, so I'm not tripping. And or plus, I might not know the boyfriend, so I don't really give a shit what he thinks about what I'm saying. And then I have my girlfriends that I'm very close to, where sometimes they're acting super extra, and I have to like go into therapist mode, like, "Hey, I know you're upset, but if it was the other way around, would you be okay if this person was saying this to you or yelling at you? Like, let's really think about it. Like, it just depends. Depends on who the person is in your friendship.
Damn, I never thought about that. No,
it's all the approach.
KYP,
and know your audience.
Personnel.
Know your personnel.
Know your audience.
Read the room.
Read the room.
Read the room. Oh my God. I don't know, man.
You bring a girl to my house, Chris, which has never happened, but if you did,
and don't wonder why either.
If you did, and she was extra.
Don't you want to know if she could survive the gauntlet? Survive the gauntlet?
No, she cannot.
American Gladiators.
I'm going to let you know right now. She cannot survive. She cannot survive Jessica. Damn. No, 100% not. No point.
I would tell you. I would tell you straight out. Like, yeah, she's cool, but she has a bad attitude, or what is she doing? What is she bringing to the table? Yeah. But I feel like I have that right to be able to say those type of things to you, where some of my guy friends, I would be extra nice about it because I know that they're all, but she's so awesome and I love her.
No, you mean the pussy is fire and the head game is strong. That's what they're saying to you when she's so nice and I think I love her. You don't love her. But that's another story. That's another topic for another podcast.
Like, don't get me started on that one, please. Please don't.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna let you go, but I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right, have fun in the spa. Bye.
All right, bye.
Damn, Coy.
Survive the gauntlet.
Well, I mean, don't bring it up in the honeymoon stage.
No. Let them figure it out.
And then you got to ease into it.
Anything can happen in the honeymoon stage.
And then you got to ease into it.
You got to ease into it. Guys.
KYP, know your personnel. Yeah. Read the room.
Read the room. RTR, read the room. So you gotta decide if you want to take that chance and tell them or not.
Fuck it, I'm telling them.
I'm not a teller, so I like to.
So you like to sit back and watch the mayhem unfold.
Sit back and hit you with the "I told you so" after my work is done.
Oh my gosh! All right, guys, I do appreciate you guys for listening in, and I appreciate all the questions and the topics you guys bring to me on Instagram at Men Don't Know, Twitter at Men Don't Know 1, or even if you're emailing the men, Chris at Men Don't Know. I can't thank y'all enough. And once again, if you're listening on Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spotify, if you're download the Men Don't Know podcast app, or if even you're going to mendon'tknow.com and listen to it on mendon'tknow.com, I really can't thank y'all enough. Coy, man, we out.
Hey.
10,000.
What was it?
I probably spent on her probably about like 80,000. And the last chick that I was officially dating, we almost got a dog after like 2 days of knowing each other.
Somebody that's asking you to define something immediately has ulterior motives.
You are now listening to the Men Don't Know podcast.